Good morning. It's Friday, October 10th, 2025. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang Qigong, and we're going to talk a bit about the idea of discernment and clearly distinguishing what it is that we're doing internally and externally. That theme, clearly distinguishing, is part of our practice. It's part of the kinds of things that we want to pay attention to as we're practicing and as we're developing our skills. We're going to get started. Feet about shoulder width apart. Open the arms. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Pull up through the crown of the head. Pull up to the center of the torso. Hands circle at the front. Back around both sides. Up along the center line. Reach out. Bend the knees as you reach out. Bend through the hip, not through the waist. One more time. Fingertips reach up. Elbows drop down. Wrists, hands return to your sides. I've said this a couple of different times. In Wudang Qigong, we have several sets that we see almost the same. Little small differences. Clearly distinguish the differences, right? Between Wudang Taiji and Wudang Qigong. In set 7, turning palm, both hands come up, lift, push, come back to center, other side. As the palms turn, this idea of both hands turning and working together needs to be present. It's my day. It's my day again. The combination, I talked a lot about this yesterday, the combination of what you're doing externally, what you're doing internally, the subtle changes, the subtle differences in the movements, in the way that we move, in the way that we use the different body parts that we have, in the way that we keep in mind whatever the idea is that goes behind the movement. That combination is what we really want to pay attention to. Seems I didn't need that after all. All right, so as we're paying attention to all of these things, we also, particularly since I'm talking about the advanced practice and applications, we also want to pay attention to what kinds of applications might there be in whatever the movement is. In some of the movements, it's fairly obvious. We practiced push yesterday, pushing the mountain. It's fairly obvious. The strength building and the coordination are part of what we want to be able to bring to whatever movement we're doing. In turning palm here, this is up from underneath, lift. It's one of the 8 fundamental applications. Sai, lift, Joe, call. There's the other, Pang Lu Jian, Sai, lift, Joe, call. Lift, lift, is one of the fundamental applications in Tai Chi. And that's what we're doing. If we're not paying attention to that, we don't know that. Yeah, here. I, I I would not try that move on someone that size. That's a very tall person with very long arms. And they would have to be leaning over for me to be able to reach their arm. So I'm not that move. No, probably not. Understanding that, right, is part of what we want to learn as we're learning applications. What can I do? Hey, that looks great. I can't do that. It's not. It's there are some things that 30 years ago I might have decided that I wanted to do sufficiently that I would go and learn how to do it. I did that. I did that for quite a few things. At this point, it's not going to happen. Okay, it's not. And I can appreciate what someone else is doing. It's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. Okay, that person probably can't do many of the things I can do. So next, that is also something that comes through practice and through the discipline and understanding of what you can do, who you are, because that's a factor in what you can do, right? As we develop our skills, we develop that understanding. It comes with. It's not an add-on. It's not something that you can put aside, decide I'm going to do this or not. You're going to learn more about yourself through practice. Great. Once you start to learn what you can do in practice, that will carry through to almost everything else you can do. So I've talked about this in particular. My upper body strength is never going to be equal to that of most men. It's not. My body's not built that way. My hips, however, will be stronger than those of most men. So I have an advantage there. Knowing that my arm length is average, it's not, I don't have long arms. So I don't have an advantage in my arms. I might have a little bit because of the coordination and if I keep my arms close, right? Either way, that is only going to help me in certain situations. The same as my legs are going to help me in certain ways and not help me in others. I don't have long legs. I've taught people who had a slightly different body type. I taught a gentleman who was shorter and rounder than I am. His push hands was excellent. He had practiced wrestling in high school, and he remembered all kinds of things from that art that he could reapply to push hands in Tai Chi. Another young man was tall and very slender. He could do every move in Bagua with just effortlessly. He could move easily. That flexibility gave him an advantage. It gave him a disadvantage when he would need to be solid and strong. He was flexible and mobile, right? Where he needed to develop more skill wasn't with flexibility, it was with being solid. being quiet. And he's very, he's good at Bagua. I'll put it that way. That sense of what a person is good at, what a person likes, and I'll talk about what a person likes in a couple of minutes. First, let's pay attention to what we're doing in this particular exercise. So palms up, press down, and I'm going to turn around to do this because it's left side, right side here. Press out, come back to center, palms up again, press out, turn over, come back to center, and press down. As we're moving, pay attention to the weight changes. So I'm here on the toe to the heel, press out. I'm not going to use a large step, but I'm going to open it up a little bit more. Pay attention, again, pay attention to the body alignment. Pay attention to the harmony between the two hands as they move, as you turn. And that turn through the waist that I just did, we'll talk about that after we finish this set. Feet about shoulder width apart, stand straight, pull up through the crown of the head. Breathe in, palms up, and breathe out, press down. Shift to the right. Palms up on the left side. Little step, both palms press out. Come back to center. Pull the foot in. On the toe. On the heel. Press out. Pull in. Pull the foot in. Back to center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pay attention as the hands come up, that there's a little bit of resistance under the hands. A little bit of weight there. As the palms turn over, pay attention to the lavum in the center of the palm, that they both stay connected with each other and with the middle and the lower tantian. Circulate the breath up the back and down the front. Breathe in and breathe out. Two more. Open the lower back. Open the mid back. Keep the shoulders down. Keep the head quiet. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. Palms down along both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Stay there. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Relax. As we're paying attention to this set, this idea of the coming up from underneath also kind of requires that we pay attention to what we're doing with the hands. In this exercise and in our Tai Chi form, the palms are open and flat as the hands come up from underneath. Okay, so my fingers are always going to be a little bit curved for Tai Chi, And in this exercise, they're going to be a little bit curved for this Qigong set. In most of our Qigong sets, we have something going on through and with the hands, the extension, right? That we want to pay attention to and that we should pay attention to. In this case, centers of the palms, Lao Gong, connect with each other. And the idea that we're lifting something here, we're going to do this 2 more times. We're going to do it real slow. So you get to feel it. All right. That we're lifting something here. The hands come up, raise up. As they come up, they come together. Right? It's not this one and this one. It's together. Right? No. Yes. Wrist, elbow. Here. They work together. They do. This is your wrist and your elbow. Let me help you with that. Oh, you wanted to? You did. All right, go ahead. Except it's going to go over here, and this is, yeah. That applications. What might I do with this set if I want to develop, this is Qigong, I want to develop my internal energy. I want to develop my internal breath, the internal energy, Jing, internal breath, Qi. I want to develop both of them. What might I do? External energy. I'm going to use this in an application. I should be well placed, well centered, solid, and strong, because whatever I do has to be balanced against what I'm not doing. So if I'm going to raise here, I have to be well placed through my legs so that I can do this. If my legs are not well placed, right? I'm going to turn my foot. Don't do this. You hurt yourself. Don't do it. My foot's here. I can't lift anything. Not really. My foot's not in the right position. Knowing that, distinguishing what is and is not correct, according to the principles in the form, according to principles of good body placement. So with my feet about shoulder, what is good body placement? My feet are about shoulder width apart. Very easy for me to stand this way. I can stand here, but I have to use it takes some effort because I'm not as well balanced as I am here. That ability to know where my balance is. My feet point straight, my knees are over my toes. I'm not here, right? And I'm not here. Neither of those two positions appears very comfortable, actually. That's the point. I'm comfortable. I want to be comfortable in standing and in the movement. That placement, being solid in that stance. So as I sink into, in this case, my left leg on the right toes, step right here. My heel has to dig in. It's really dug in. As I push forward, that heel pushes in and down. And I push into and through both legs. Right? The weight transfer, the coordination, the timing so that each movement is well coordinated and well placed is what we're going to work on right now. We're going to move slowly. I am going to turn around for this. 2 sets. It will be slow. Each part of each movement has its own merit. Pay attention to that. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Breathe in. Palms up. Breathe out. Press down. Sink. Shift the weight. Slowly. Pay attention to your knee. Pay attention to the turning in the toes. Pay attention to the rising and turning in the hands. Little step. Hands come in. Press out. Slowly, move slow. Everything goes together. Everything goes together. Everything, that back leg is still extending, isn't it? And there we go. Extend through the palms, even as the physical movement stops. Pull in. Pull the foot in. Relax the breath. Breathe naturally. Open the back. Breathe fully. Shift to the left. We're still going. Shift very slowly. This is slow. Both palms up. A little bit of strength from underneath. Little step. Set the heel. Palms turn over. Push forward. Everything moves together. The hands move. The weight changes. Relax the breath. Each movement at this speed uses several breaths. Shift to the right. Nice and easy. Little step. Set the heel. Push into it. Push through the legs. And return. Pull the foot in. Center. Shift. All the weight on the left. I moved a little faster than I intended to move. Set the heel. Press forward. Return. Center. Hands down along both sides. Straighten through the body. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Stay there. Relax through the body. Relax through the legs. Open the back. This slow practice gives us more than enough time to pay attention to all of the fine movements as we're doing the exercise. What has to happen? What has to happen in order for me to do this? Just raise the hands. I'm going to stop for a minute. Hand position, body position, timing. The idea that I am going to move very slowly as opposed to breathe in, and breathe out, which is what I normally use for Qigong practice. Slowing it down is one of the things that I learned through Yang style Tai Chi. That as we're practicing, if we're practicing slowly, very, very slowly, we discover any imbalances, we discover anything that's not placed well, we find any imperfections much more easily. In that last set, I said I moved faster than I intended to. I did. I shifted my weight and I was here. I didn't intend to do that. I was intending, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there eventually. I am. I'm going to get there. I am. I'm going to get there. Really, I am. I'm going to get there. I am. Right? Oh, shift, settle. Right? There we go. How do I keep the coordination between what I'm doing with my hands, what I'm doing through my legs, with the stepping? How do I interpret? I talked about that and said, yeah, I'll talk about the waist in just a second. Well, here we are. As we're moving, right? Palms up. Relatively basic move. In everything that we do in Wudang Taiji, Wudang Qigong, we have this idea of the lower Tantian being able to move in two directions in a circle. This is the two swimming fish, the Tai Chi diagram, right? That idea that we can use that circle, we can use that pattern to move, is one of our foundation principles. That it's not quiet. It's not. In Yang's Tai Chi, big broad move, turning through the waist, right? Nice, round, open, Wudang Qigong. Oh, this hand goes out that way, but I didn't go there. I was facing the camera. It should be here. And I go forward. But that turn is something that we learn. It was something that I noticed when I very first met Professor Liu, who taught me Wudang Qigong and Wudang Tai Chi and Xingyi and Bagua, that turning and twisting through the lower dantian that engages the waist and that uses this whole mechanism. The waist drives the movement, right? In Yang style Tai Chi, we have what I would consider a very nice sedan. It accommodates the entire family. It's great. It has a good range. It's a nice sedan. Wudang Tai Chi is more like a sports car. There's a little more to it. It's not that I would like to have both, actually. I have both. So I'm happy with that. Distinguishing, I'm going back to this idea of clearly distinguishing, separating both of those arts gives me a foundation that I wouldn't have if I tried to muddle them together. The advantage that I gain in the way that I use my waist in Yang style Tai Chi carries through all of the movements. The advantage that I gain in Wudang style Tai Chi and the use of the waist carries through all of the movements. It's part of the fundamentals for the system. The same way that Wu style Tai Chi relies on small circles and a lot of vertical movement, Yang style Tai Chi is the open sweeping movements. Wudang style Tai Chi has a corkscrew. It's twisted. That distinction, twist, makes a huge difference in what we do within the movement, what we can do within the movement, and what the outer appearance of the movement, and how the outer appearance of the movement is perceived. I'm going to do this one more time, normal speed, 2 times. And I am going to stay facing this way. So I'm going to start on my right, you're going to start on your left. Turn the waist. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight, pull up through the crown of the head. Palms up, breathe in. Press down, breathe out. Turn the waist. Little step. Press out. Turn the waist, pull in. And sink. Again, turn the waist, the other side. Press out. Turn the waist, pull in. Turn the waist. Step. Everything turns from the waist. Turn the waist. That connection and the way that we keep the body coordinated is essential to developing the internal strength, developing the internal skill, and being able to clearly distinguish what it is we're doing. To separate, this is this thing, this is over here. What are we paying attention to? And then to recognize that what we have on the surface, right, what you see me doing here, is not all there is to it. In in-person class, I've talked about this. I had somebody put their hand right here, this area in my back, as I'm moving. Because sometimes you can't see it. You have to be able to see it. But it's very definitely something that can be felt. The ability to distinguish this movement, that movement, what am I doing here, what am I doing there, the idea that goes behind, what's my intent, what am I trying to do here, what am I paying attention to, all of that comes together in whatever we're doing in practice today. It's a good set. It's all right. I'm a little bit fast, but it's okay. I could do something else. As I'm pulling up here, I could be paying attention a lot more to what's going on in the lower Tantian and the turn that drives the hands. Right? That it's not forced. It's not nearly as visible as I just made it. It shouldn't be. That was no. That's to give you the idea. That's not how you should. what you should. Right there. That's it. That's all that needs to be shown on the outside. Even if I make it bigger, it's not, I don't know what that's 1, 2, 3, throw. I don't know. That's not what we're doing. Leah. Both hands have something to do. Understanding that, paying attention to body placement, being able to clearly distinguish what movement is, what part of each movement, and I mean, how to say that? Clearly distinguish each part of each movement is what I'm trying to say. So that slow motion, set the heel, bend the knee, open the hip, drop the weight. All right, that I can pay attention to all of those things individually and correct any problem. If I'm set here and my hip isn't open, I will lean. It's physics. It's going to happen. That check, is my hip open? Right? Knowing what to do to fix the problems is something for another class. It is so very important to understand the principles, to distinguish clearly, and then as we're working with applications, as we're doing the exercises, being able to clearly distinguish within the movements what it is that's going on and what we're doing within the movement and within the application. I hope you enjoyed class this morning. I will be back tomorrow with more on the advanced principles and philosophy, and I'm going to talk a lot more about this idea of distinguishing clearly and being able to see clearly so that you can distinguish. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Bye.